Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Buddies podcast YouTube channel. And today in this clip, I'll be talking about the new iPad 10th Gen, and it's quite of an update, a very controversial update. So let's just start with it. I want to keep this as short as possible, but also cover all the points. Starting off with the design. So the previous iPad 9th Gen had the same design as I think the iPad Air 2 or the iPad Air, the original iPad Air. It had a very similar design to that. So now it's been updated and it now looks very similar to the design that was started by the iPad Pro 2014. That is the rounded corners but like the flat edges. And I think with the colors that they are given, that is blue, pinkish red, which is like a 5C type, that pink color, yellow also, which is the 5C color, a darker blue, which I said blue, I know, but still, and a silver color. I really like the colors. One major change that they have done this year, apart from the obviously the redesign, is that they have moved the positioning of the camera. So traditionally in this design, the cameras have always been on the left hand side when it is put in the landscape mode, but now it's like directly to the face. Like now if you see, it doesn't seem like I'm looking into the camera, but if I look here at the side, it seems like I'm looking into the camera. So basically they're giving it a laptop type design. It has touch ID now. It always had touch ID, but it's at the top now, same thing as the iPad Air 4. The processor, which is obviously the most important part about any iPad, is the A14 processor, which was seen in the now 2 years old iPad Air 4. Now, I don't know why they did that, but they could have put the A15 processor, but I think Apple surely has something in mind. And I also think they had this pattern of putting 2 year old processors in their iPad, uh, the base model iPad. So, apart from that, I can't say much because the design is the exact same thing as the iPad Air 4 or the iPad Pro 2018, except the Face ID thing. Now it gets a 12 megapixel wide back camera, and the major update that it has, apart from moving the camera to that side, the front camera at least, is that the resolution of the front camera also increases and it also gets center stage. Obviously, there's one thing that you guys want to hear: did they finally switch to USB C? Well, there's one good thing about it and there's one bad thing about it. Yes, they did switch to USB C, and then like, oh, finally we're getting the. So if they move to USB C, we don't have to use that horrible lightning uh, Apple Pencil, the Apple Pencil Gen 1, which had this really weird charging system. No, you still have to use the Apple Pencil Gen 1. Oh, maybe they made a lightning Apple Pencil Gen 1 with magnetic charging, or they've made the Apple Pencil Gen 1 with the USB C port. No, it's the exact same thing. Maybe in 2017, I think, was when they made it. It's the exact same Apple Pencil. And believe it or not, you're supposed to use a dongle with the iPad now. I can't believe Apple keeps doing the same thing, the same mistakes again and again. And I know it's not even a mistake. This was calculated by Apple, and this seems so stupid. Like I don't get the whole reason behind this iPad. Like to change the entire design of the iPad and not include the Apple Pencil Gen 2. The Apple Pencil Gen 1 in itself is very outdated now when you compare it to all its competitors. And obviously, because Apple has its own integration, it works the best. But no, it does not have the Apple Pencil Gen 2, and they're just pretending like it's a completely fine thing to do. I think this is completely, I think it's bad. Like they just like kind of hid the fact also, like during the, and this iPad did not have a keynote, which is kind of, I don't remember last time or if Apple has ever released a product like the iPad without a keynote. So that was kind of weird of Apple to do, but I get it. These iPads, the Pro and this year's base iPad, are not all that interesting. I know they changed the design, but why? And I'm gonna make my case even more. So this comes with the A14 Bionic processor, which is incredibly powerful. We know, not as much as the M1, but yes, you're paying a lesser price. But they still haven't kept it as the same price as the iPad 9 Gen. I don't know. I thought they would at least continue the same pricing. No, there's been a pricing increase, and I think it's a pretty substantial one. And also, now I'll just go to the comparison site so that I can give a proper comparison. The display size is increased, obviously, because of the redesign. The cameras are the exact same in the back. The front camera, like I said, changed. And this is 5G support. storage up to 256. Again, they skipped the 128 gigs because why should you pay for the one in between 64 and 256? If you want more space, you might as well pay more, much more. And it works with the Magic Keyboard Folio. Yeah, so the price bump. The previous year's iPad started at $329, and this year's is $449. You can do the conversions if you want. I'm not going to do it right now. But apart from that, if you compare it to the iPad Air 4, um, it's almost the exact same. The dimensions are, I think the bezels are slightly bigger on the iPad 10 Gen. And now when you go to the display, here's where another shocker comes. You're not getting a laminated display. Apart from that, there's just the basic, like, what it's like almost the exact same. This gets 5G, the old one gets 4G. But apart from that, it's the exact same product as the iPad Air 4. Virtually, if you see it, apart from the thicker bezels, you will not notice a difference. Although I would say I like the colors a lot on this one, I don't think you should buy this iPad. In comparison, the iPad Air 5th Gen is um, just like $150 more, and you're getting a much better deal in my opinion. And if I'm comparing it to the Mini 6th Gen, which again does not have that many uh, upgrades um, to the iPad, to the 10th Gen, but it has a A15 Bionic processor, which is a newer processor, and it is also priced just $50 more. And the Apple Pencil second generation, you don't have to carry around a stupid dongle to charge your iPad. I can't believe Apple made the same decision again. Like, why? And Apple also knows in its future that it's going to be killing the Lightning, but they're still pushing Lightning products on us. I'd be completely fine if Apple said that we're going to release a uh, Type C, but based on the Gen 1 Apple Pencil. But you know why they won't? They won't because then they know that everyone would who buys an iPad then on the iPad Air 4 will not be forced to buy the Apple Pencil Gen 2. They will buy the Gen 1, which will obviously be cheaper. So they want all the Apple Pencil Gen 1, all the iPad Air 5, iPad Air 4, everyone basically from the iPad Pro 2018, the iPad Air 4 users, iPad Air 5 users, and the iPad Mini users to pay what 10,000, 12,000 rupees for the Apple Pencil, and they don't want to make a 9,000 rupee or 8,000 rupee replacement for it just for the single iPad. The USB C to Apple Pencil adapter is 900 rupees. 900 rupees. And now I'm not too sure if it would be provided for free. Some places I did read that it would be provided for free along with the iPad, which would be the smart decision to make, but it's still an inconvenience for most people. We have seen Apple make this similar decision when they removed uh, the headphone jack from the iPhone 7, and for the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8 they gave that small adapter, and then after that they just pretended like that adapter was never there for the um, from the iPhone 10s and 10R onwards. I think probably cost cutting. And also they've done this with the Apple Pencil Gen 1. The Apple Pencil Gen 1 originally included two tips for the Apple Pencil, one which will be already installed on the Apple Pencil and the other is an external tip. And now the Apple Pencil Gen 2 does not have an extra tip, so that you have to fork out what, for 4,000 rupees if I'm not wrong, for four tips of the Apple Pencil. I'll also check on that. So if I'm customizing it to the lowest spec, it would cost 44,900 rupees. You're better off paying 10,000 more and getting the Air 5 with an M1 chip, which would guaranteed get a longer lifespan than this. Honestly, I won't recommend this iPad to anyone. To anyone. Like, actually. I think you're better off getting the Mini or the Air 5, because the Air 5 is a brilliant deal for the price. And I think that 10,000 rupees, just spending that additional 10,000 rupees would make the biggest difference. You'll get much more features in the future. Everything would be guaranteed simply because it shares the processor lineup with the Pros. Hopefully, when this product comes out, maybe Apple might slash the prices. I think at this point it's overpriced. I just wanted to make one final point, and that was give you guys the pricing differences between this. The pricing is also very important because of the price bump. Now, all the iPads are very closely priced. So, if iPads are closely priced, I would suggest, and this is the same model that they have been following. I feel like the Mini wasn't really made for people who genuinely appreciate a smaller phone. It was made for people to make that small jump to justify the pricing of the iPhone 13. If I go to the pricing, The iPad mini and the iPad 10th gen there's a 5,000 rupee difference, uh, and for the iPad Air 5th gen and the iPad 10th gen there's a 15,000 rupee difference. But when you purchase off Amazon, you will get a much bigger discount than the iPad Air 5th gen, and the iPad Air 5th gen always has credit card discounts or debit card discounts. So that or the mini, I would still suggest the FI. That being said, um, that's it for this clip. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.